commentators John McCoy and Steve Mackey.
Now welcome again to the Logan City Lanes for the second game in the men's competition of the 1985 Coca Cola Classic. Today's game is between Terry Wenban, who won his way through from the first round. Terry's from Sydney, and he comes up against Ian Hughes, formerly of Sydney, now based on the Gold Coast in Queensland. Two former Sydney-siders, old rivals from way back, Steve.
Yes, they are. They were teammates a couple of years ago, but I don't think there'll be any love lost in this match. It's dog-eat-dog in a one-game step-ladder final. I think Terry bowled very well, apart from that disastrous gutter ball that we saw him bowl. Gave everyone a bit of heart, I suppose, out there. But I think it'll be a very high-scoring match. I think it'll be a lot closer than what we might expect, and very interesting. I think Terry will win.
Terry Wenban is 30 years of age. He comes from Sydney. He's one of only two bowlers in this competition to have bowled a perfect game of 300. He also holds the Australian TV record high game of 279, set in the 1984 New South Wales Grand Prix Series. Already this year, he's been in form, winning the Sydney Cup, the Sydney Open, the Brisbane Cup, and the Cool Foam Classic, which was staged here at Logan City Lanes. Terry, you bowled well to win in the first round. What's your strategy for today's game?
Firstly, hopefully not to throw another gutter ball. I don't think I'll be able to get away with that tonight. I'm just going to go out and really try and hit the pocket all day and just try and get 10 every shot. The conditions are very good. Ian's going to be tough to beat tonight. I think his shot is suiting the conditions. That's all I really do. I just try and be in there all the time and see who makes an error first.
Ian Hughes is aged 39, originally from Sydney, now based on the Gold Coast. He's been bowling for 18 years. His highest game was 287. He's bowled 5 times for New South Wales and captained the Blues in 1981. Has won 4 titles in the 1984 Gold Coast Championships and also won the 1979 Sydney Masters. Ian, yourself and Terry, former Sydney-siders, played against him much in the past?
Yes, we've played a few games together and they've all been close encounters, and I hope we have another good game tonight.
Any particular plan going into this game?
No, I'll just go out there and do my own thing and hope everything comes out right at the end.
And Ian Hughes to bowl the first frame of the second round of the 1985 Coca Cola Classic.
A big moment for Ian Hughes in this match. Good chance for him to really make a name for himself, but...
Well, a difficult start for him. It's a very awkward split that he started with.
Yes, a little bit of a nervous start, I think, for Ian. First time on national television. He has bowled in some Grand Prix finals in New South Wales, and he's been doing a lot of bowling since he moved up here to the Gold Coast, but a tough start. The pin numbers 4, 7 and 10. Well, I don't know what he's going to do here. It's the first frame of a one-game match. I guess he should go for it. Let's see what he does.
He's going to try and take out those 2, which he does. So has to play his percentages, an open frame. So 9 in the first frame for Ian Hughes. Looks a little bit unhappy with himself as he walks back to take his seat and watch Terry Wenban come up to bowl his first frame, and a real confidence booster for Terry to see his opponent start with an open frame in the first.
Yes, and not a pleasant place to be on the bench with an open frame and a man like Wenban out in front of you. Not a pleasant sight, I can tell you. We got that one out beautifully. What a ball that was.
And that really is capitalising on your opponent's bad start. To start with a strike, so a great start by Terry Wenban. Probably surprising that he qualified so far down the list, Terry Wenban. I think he'd still be regarded as one of the favourites for the men's competition, Steve.
Yes, he'd had a long day at work in Sydney. Then he flew up for the preliminary tournament. He's rather tired. He did have the highest game in that preliminary tournament of 255, but some of the other games left a little to be desired, and that left him in languishing in 6th place. Another good shot. Well, a great way to start with 2 strikes. A reminder, of course, that if any player in this competition, be it in the men's or ladies' events, is able to bowl the perfect game, a 300 game, 12 strikes in a row, takes away a bonus prize of $5,000.
from Goldpin and our sponsors Coca-Cola. Great prize.
Yes, it certainly is. There's been some big 300 game prizes this year. In fact, Ian Bradford had a Mercedes-Benz car, $41,000 car that he got for a 300 game in Singapore. But we're back with Ian Hughes now, and Ian in a little bit of trouble. And our co-commentator with us for this match is Bob Cook, the editor of Pin Action magazine. Bob, what do you think Ian's problem is?
Steve, Ian's obviously showing signs of nerves. He's not as fluent as he was when he was practicing. He follow-through was cut short on that shot. The ball didn't come up enough to the head pin, but he should relax once he bowls a couple more shots, I'd say.
Well, he's got a difficult sleeper split here at the moment. One pin behind the other, and he's done it well to take those two out. Not the easiest split to get. So he gets his spare, and that'll be a confidence booster for him.
Yes, and the value of a hook ball there being shown to advantage in the replay with the ball carrying through to that back pin, 22 inches. And have a look at it again. And a perfect placement for the spare. Well, that'll be a little bit of a confidence booster for Ian Hughes, who has Terry Wenban on fire. Double strike in the first two frames against him, and he's had one open and a spare.
So Ian starting his third frame. Leaves the two standing, but still a good chance to pick up his spare in the third.
Yes, the ball crossing over to the left-hand side of the head pin, so still a bit of a nervous Nelly shot there with the arm swing not coming through straight. It came over to the left, and of course the ball usually goes where your thumb is pointing at the release point. And that's the problem that Ian has at the moment. Just a little bit out of timing. But a good spare shot. Well, we might get a comment from Bob now. Do you think Terry can go all the way? You've been watching him practice, Bob, and he's opened up with a beautiful double.
Terry's certainly the man to do it, Steve. He's looking very confident, especially after his good win last week. He likes the lanes. He's very composed. Yes, he'd be a big chance, I'd say.
Let's see if Bob Cook is correct. That looks a pretty good shot. Oh, what a ball that was. Let's have another look at that. Great strike by Terry Wenban in the third frame, and only 9 to go for 5,000 big ones.
Well, that's probably the ball of the competition, in fact, so far, Steve. Beautifully bowled by Terry Wenban.
Yes, it certainly was, and look at that face. The picture doesn't really tell 1,000 words there with his face. He'd be pretty keyed up about that last strike. That was a great ball.
So he's heading now for a four-bagger.
We hope.
$5,000 if he can bowl a perfect game. There's only been one perfect game bowled here at Logan City. That was back in May.
Looks good.
85. Well, there it is, a four-bagger. What a great start for Terry Wenban.
Oh, boy. Well, it's great for Terry, but it's not too good for Ian Hughes' confidence, which just went right down the plug hole, I would say.
Well, at the end of the second frame, Terry Wenban a lead of 33 pins over Ian Hughes. A long way to go, of course. Still another 8 strikes in a row he has to get, but it's the way to start. I wonder, are we on our way to see our first televised perfect game?
And that was desperate bad luck then. Possibly the speed on Ian's ball, leaving that corner 10 pin. It was a good shot, good enough for a strike, but maybe not his day. 46 in the third frame. Terry Wenban has the potential to be 90, so about 44 pins the difference just after a few frames. What a difference a strike makes. 10 pin right over in the right-hand side corner, and Ian bowling all the way across the lane, and he's got it. Boy, this will be excitement plus here. There's a big crowd here at Logan City Lanes. More than 300 people packed into the 16-lane centre here.
And they're hushed as Terry Wenban could be on his way to a perfect game, is he? I don't think so. No, it's not.
Oh, dear.
Disappointed with himself there, and he knew it from the moment, in fact, it left his hand that wasn't where he wanted that ball to be.
No, a little bit Australian timing. As he got to the line, he was ahead of the ball, and didn't get it out cleanly on the lane, as you saw. Quite a lot of extra loft there, and lost the roll at the far end.
So the $5,000 is safe, at least for the time being.
And a tough spare to go for, and he's missed it. Well, this has certainly opened the door now for Ian Hughes. He's come back from the grave there, courtesy of Terry Wenban's open frame. Terry looking at a 300 game a moment ago. Now he's down into the low 200s. Unbelievable game, isn't it? The scoring system in this: strikes count 10 plus the next 2 shots, spares count 10 plus the next 1, and open frames like a 5 and 2, giving you only 7 pins in a frame instead of maybe 30. Amazing game.
So at the end of the completed 4th frame, Terry Wenban holding a lead of 38 pins. And quickly back into form.
Yes, have a look at this one again. Great pin action. Look at that 6-pin. Kick the 10 out of the gutter. Tremendous stuff.
Did you talk to me, Vic? Okay.
Ian Hughes has a slim chance to get back into the game now with that open from Wenban, but he's going to have to start getting some strikes, Steve.
And strike is exactly what he did.
Nothing wrong with that one, John. That was right in the hole.
So Ian gradually whittling that lead down. At the end of the 5th frame, the lead of Terry Wenban's is 25 pins. And Ian, with a strike to build on, moves over to bowl on the 13th.
Yes, and Ian did the right thing that time. He gave the ball a little bit more lift. He probably got it out another foot or so on the lane. He gave it a bit more air, as we say. And that was a great shot. If he can get another strike now, that puts Terry under a bit of pressure. And this one looks... didn't get it out quite as far as he did on the previous shot. Yes, he let it go a little bit short, and of course, doing that, it dived in at the end, but he's caught up some pins. He's only 25 pins behind now instead of 46. Halfway through the game, he's still a big chance to win.
So important that he picks up this spare. And does so.
Yes, a tough spare too. That's quite easily missed, but he covered it well. The ball hit in between the top 2 pins, the pin numbers 3 and 6, and the 6 pin took the 10 away. Well, Wenban back on the lane. That's cost him a chance to win big money. Wonder if that'll phase him out this time.
Just the one blemish to Terry Wenban's game so far. With that open frame in the 5th, apart from that, it's been strikes all the way. This time leaves the 1 pin standing, so that should present him with little problem of getting that spare in the 7th.
And it certainly looked a strike. Let's have a look at what happens to the pins there. That ball jumped through and sailed past the 9 pin. That is the sign of an excellent rolling ball. Any ball that has no deflection off the pins like that one deserves strikes. But he didn't get it. That's the 9 pin. I think he'll treat it with contempt. Bang, take that. Yes, that should have been another strike, but that keeps Ian handy. Still 25 pins the difference. Both of them have bowled 7 frames, and both with spares working in the 7th. Ian Hughes a little concerned about the situation. Running out of time and frames. We're in the top of the 8th for Terry Wenban. He doesn't want to make any mistakes now, because I think Ian will jump on him like a ton of bricks. No mistake there.
Oh, boy. Again. Never looked like missing.
Now have a look at this shot. In the pocket light and the 5 pins lifted. A perfect ball. That will also be a demoralising shot for Hughes to come back against. Well, let's see what he can do.
Ian Hughes starting his 8th frame. That's good.
Showing plenty of guts, coming back after that great stride of Wenban's, and that one's equally as good.
But he's come back. Well, it rocked, but not too bad. Only the 2-pin. Yes, he's had a little bit of trouble on this lane, John. A couple of wayward shots. That 5 and 2, and the last frame. Well, that was a 9 count, a 9-pin. But this one was also wayward. So he's had 2 bad shots in the game, and his opponent might catch him.
There's his spare in the 9th.
That's the difficulty with bowling across the 2 lanes, of course. You can line up on one lane and have it really in your sights, and then the other lane, of course, you've got to work that one out too. And as you know, John, the lanes are never the same frame by frame, let alone in a match of this importance. The loser is eliminated. The winner goes on to meet Queensland's Hall of Fame member, Ken Sheehan. 10th frame time for Terry Wenban, and he's in trouble.
Leaves the 2-pin standing.
And Terry feeling the pressure now. Isn't it amazing? He looked so cool, calm and collected early on in the game, but then a couple of strikes by Ian Hughes, who's found the range now, and Terry Wenban all of a sudden in trouble. 187 in the 9th frame. He needs a spare for a 200 game. 203 in his last match against Peter Lepp.
So this is very important to him, and he's got it.
Yes, he made an adjustment there to make sure he didn't chop the 2-pin off the front, and he got that spare. So he's going to shoot a game in the 2-0s, 207, he would hope, with a strike. And Ian Hughes has the capability to bowl 214. It's up to Ian now. Terry can't win it. Ian can lose it.
Looks good. It is a strike to finish for Terry Wenban, so he finishes with 207.
And Bob, what do you think would be going through Ian Hughes' mind now? What do you recommend he does?
Well, he's just got to take control of the situation and not rush things, slow it down, but not take it too stilted. You've still got to keep that rhythm up, especially when there's big pressure on like there is now. He must get 2 strikes.
Oh boy, the pressure in 10-pin bowling. He gives Terry Wenban a look of, well, I'll let you have it, mate. And he certainly did.
I saw Terry just turn and breathe a sigh of relief.
Yes, he almost fell out of the chair, actually. It was that heavy a sigh.
And there he is, still saying the gods are with me.
Well, a great try then by Ian Hughes, but he's eliminated from the tournament. 178 in that game, and he loses by 29 pins.
Yes, a great fight back, though, by Ian Hughes, to his credit. Terry Wenban sneaking in by 29 pins. I think it was certainly closer than that final score would indicate. Next game in the